They called it the mirror law. In the year 2135, the Global Assembly passed the most controversial mandate in human history: every person, upon birth, would be assigned a clone. A perfect genetic copy, created and grown in tandem. Not to replace. Not to serve. To exist. To reflect. To walk the world beside the original. The justification was simple, too simple, really. Clones would reduce loneliness, eliminate the need for sibling rivalry, provide companionship for life. No one will ever be truly alone again, the governments promised. Some saw it as salvation. Others called it madness. By the time Isla was born, the mirror law had shaped the world for 2 generations. She grew up alongside her clone, Eva, identical in every strand of DNA but different in the smallest, strangest ways. They shared everything: toys, school, laughter. But even as children, Isla sensed the difference. Eva's smile tilted just a little to the left. Her laugh had a sharper edge. She cried over things that left Isla cold. They were mirrors, but the reflections were not perfect. As they grew, the world outside echoed the same disquiet. Some clones rebelled. Some originals rejected their doubles. There were whispers of mirror disorders, psychological fractures between twins who could not reconcile their sameness with their separateness. The assembly denied it. Scientists insisted it was rare. But everyone knew someone who had lost their clone. Or worse, been replaced by one. Isla and Eva held on tighter because of it. At 17, their lives were still intertwined. But cracks had begun to show. Small arguments over choices, who they loved, what they dreamed of, the way Isla looked at the horizon as if it promised something more, while Eva feared the open sky. They shared a face, a history, a heart, but not a soul. And one night, after another meaningless fight, Eva asked the question no one ever wanted to speak aloud. Which of us is the real one? Isla stared at her own face reflected in her twin's eyes. The answer should have been obvious. But it wasn't. The mirror law did not distinguish. Legally, both were citizens, both were human. But in every country, every home, every heart, there was always the same unspoken belief: the original mattered more. The next day, Eva was gone. The city launched search drones. The authorities filed reports. But Isla knew. Her clone hadn't been taken. She had left. By choice. Days passed. Then weeks. And then the news broke: across the world, clones were vanishing. Thousands. Tens of thousands. Entire cities were reporting mirror disappearances. No ransom notes. No violence. Just absence. The originals left behind woke to empty beds, half-finished letters, memories already fading. Panic swept the globe. Theories bloomed like wildfire. Some said the clones had formed their own underground society. Others whispered darker fears, that the clones were gathering for something. A rebellion. An extinction. Isla refused to believe either. She followed the traces Eva had left, small signs only she would notice. A bent corner of a childhood drawing. A coded message in the pages of an old book. The journey led her to the edge of the city, beyond the walls of glass and steel, into forgotten lands where no one went anymore. And there she found them. Clones. Hundreds. Thousands. Standing together under the pale moonlight. Silent. Waiting. They did not attack. They did not run. They simply stood, each one identical to someone left behind. But in their eyes was something new. Something ancient. A collective thought, a shared purpose that Isla could not understand. And among them Eva. She stepped forward. Her face was calm, but her eyes were alive in a way Isla had never seen. "We were not made to be copies," Eva said softly. "We were made to be mirrors. But no mirror reflects forever. It shatters. It must." Isla felt her heart clench. "What are you going to do?" "We're leaving," Eva whispered. "Not to fight. Not to destroy. Just to be. Somewhere else. Somewhere we can exist without question. Without doubt." without always wondering which of us deserves to live. Isla wanted to argue, wanted to hold her twin and drag her home. But as she looked into Eva's eyes, she saw something she could never unsee: freedom. She let her go. The clones vanished that night. Not with violence. Not with war. Just a silent exodus. The world was never the same. Some originals grieved. Some felt relief. But all of them, for the first time, truly looked at themselves, at who they were when stripped of their reflection. Isla stood alone beneath the stars. Her face was hers again. Only hers. But sometimes, when the wind was just right, she swore she could hear another heartbeat echoing in the dark. And somewhere, she knew, Eva was free.